She became Queen of England. She got the crown, the title, the ceremony, everything. And yet, when Camilla walked past 2,000 people inside Westminster Abbey on the most important day of her life, nobody moved. Not Kate, not William. Nobody in a room built on centuries of royal rules. The new queen was met with complete and total silence. How does a woman spend decades fighting for a crown and still walk away without the one thing that actually matters? Today, we're going to find out exactly what that silence really meant. And that silence, it didn't come from nowhere. Think about what it actually takes to break a rule that has existed for centuries. You don't do that by accident. You don't forget to curtsy in Westminster Abbey in front of 2,000 people, with hundreds of millions watching on television. That kind of stillness takes something, courage, conviction, or maybe just a woman who had finally been pushed too far. But here is what most people missed completely. Royal protocol is not a suggestion. A curtsy to the monarch is expected. Full stop. Camilla now holds the title of queen. That rule applied to everyone in that room. Therefore, when Princess Catherine stood completely still as Camilla walked past, she didn't just break a rule. She made a statement that no speech, no interview, and no press release could ever match. As the Express reported, Kate reportedly had real tension with Camilla and allegedly refused to curtsy at the coronation. The Daily Record went further, reporting that Kate was allegedly furious with Queen Camilla, and that the curtsy snub was the moment that fury became visible to the entire world. In my opinion, that tension didn't start at the coronation. It just finally became impossible to hide. Here is what I believe: the most powerful thing a person can do, in a palace or anywhere else, is simply choose not to perform for someone who hasn't earned it. But that curtsy was just the surface, because before Princess Catherine even walked into Westminster Abbey that day, something had already happened. Something that, in my opinion, tells you everything you need to know about the power dynamic inside that palace. And most people never even noticed it. Here is what I want you to sit with for a second. This was one of the biggest days of Princess Catherine's life too. The day her father-in-law became king. The day her husband moved one step closer to the throne. The day her children's future was being written in real time. But Queen Camilla allegedly brought 20 Parker Bowles family members into Westminster Abbey. 20. And Princess Catherine, she was reportedly limited to just 4 Middletons: her mother Carol, her father Michael, her sister Pippa, and her brother James. Therefore, even Pippa and James allegedly couldn't bring their own husbands and wives. They sat inside one of the most historic buildings in the world, while their spouses reportedly waited outside. As the Express reported, the tensions between Queen Camilla and Princess Catherine were already well documented before the coronation even began. In my opinion, the guest list wasn't an oversight, it was a message. And the message was simple: I control the doors. But here is what Queen Camilla didn't count on. When you use your power to make someone feel small, you don't weaken them, you motivate them. And if you think the guest list was the cruelest part of that day, wait, because there is one detail that stopped me cold when I first came across it. One decision that, in my opinion, crossed every line, and when you hear it, I think you'll understand exactly why Princess Catherine stood still when Queen Camilla walked past. Here is the situation. Princess Catherine's own family was cut down to 4 people. Her siblings' spouses were left outside, but allegedly sitting comfortably inside Westminster Abbey that same day was Rose Hanbury, the woman Prince William was publicly accused of having an affair with. Let that land for a second. The affair rumors were widely reported and vehemently denied by Prince William's team. But as OK magazine reported, the damage to Princess Catherine and Prince William's public image was real and documented. Therefore, when Queen Camilla allegedly chose to put Rose Hanbury in that room, on that specific day, at that specific moment in history, it wasn't a coincidence. A source cited by OK magazine said it plainly: Queen Camilla was reportedly going for the jugular. In my opinion, this was not a guest list decision. This was a power play disguised as a seating chart, and here is what that teaches us. When someone shows you exactly who they are, believe them the first time. And Princess Catherine wasn't the only one sending a message that weekend, because what happened the very next day, in my opinion, was even more deliberate, even more calculated, and somehow the world barely talked about it. Here is what I need you to understand. Royal speeches are not casual. Prince William did not walk up to a microphone in front of 20,000 people at Windsor Castle and just wing it. Every single word in a senior royal speech is reportedly reviewed, carefully chosen, and intentional. Every name included, and every name left out, means something. But on May 7, 2023, the day after Queen Camilla was crowned, Prince William stood on that stage and praised King Charles III warmly and publicly. He honored his father. He celebrated the moment. Therefore, when he walked off that stage without saying Queen Camilla's name once, not her name, not her title, not a single syllable, it wasn't an accident. As the Express reported, royal watchers immediately noticed, and as the Daily Record reported, the tension between Prince William, Princess Catherine, and Queen Camilla was already boiling beneath the surface. In my opinion, silence from a future king in front of 20,000 people is not silence at all. It is a statement, and sometimes what a person chooses not to say tells you far more than anything they ever could. And Prince William wasn't alone in that feeling, because while the world was focused on the ceremony, the crowns, and the cameras, something was reportedly happening behind closed doors the night before that. Stopped me completely when I read it. Something that, in my opinion, no amount of palace PR could ever have prepared Queen Camilla for. Here is what makes this so remarkable. Princess Anne is not an outsider. She is King Charles III's own sister, a woman who has dedicated her entire life to the royal family and its traditions. She understands protocol better than almost anyone alive. But the night before the coronation, at a private royal dinner, Princess Anne reportedly looked directly at Queen Camilla and said the words nobody inside that palace was supposed to say out loud. "You are not queen. You are the queen's consort," the night before her coronation to her face. Therefore, the message arriving at that dinner table wasn't coming from the tabloids or the public. It was coming from inside, the family itself. As the Daily Record reported, designer David Emanuel, Princess Diana's own dressmaker, described the entire situation as very difficult, saying many people were deeply unhappy about Camilla being referred to as queen rather than queen consort. In my opinion, you can control a guest list, you can manage a press release, but you cannot manufacture respect from people who knew exactly what was lost and who was lost to put that crown on your head. And that tension didn't stay behind closed doors, because fast forward from the coronation, and the conflict between Princess Catherine and Queen Camilla didn't cool down. If anything, it got hotter. And the moment I am about to tell you about, in my opinion, shows exactly how fragile Queen Camilla's confidence really is beneath that crown. Here is the thing about power. Real power doesn't panic when someone walks into a room wearing a tiara. But reportedly, that is exactly what happened. Princess Catherine recently wore Queen Victoria's Oriental circlet to a state banquet, a breathtaking piece of royal history adorned with 2,600 diamonds and rubies, dating back to 1853. She wore it while hosting the Prime Minister of Germany. Elegant, historic, undeniably commanding. Therefore, according to Reality T's article, Kate Middleton's royal move has queen-hopping mad source. Queen Camilla was allegedly furious. A source told Closer Online that Camilla called Princess Catherine's behavior unacceptable and claimed it was another attempt to hog the limelight. The same source reportedly said Queen Camilla felt Prince William and Princess Catherine were swaggering around like they owned Buckingham Palace. In my opinion, when a queen feels threatened by another woman's jewelry, that says far less about the jewelry and far more about the queen. Insecurity dressed in royal robes is still insecurity. And if you think a tiara is a strange thing to fight about, wait until you hear about the food. Because this next part of the story is the one that sounds almost too small to matter. And that is exactly why it matters so much. In my opinion, the smallest battles inside a palace are almost always about something much bigger than what is sitting on the table. Here is what happened. Queen Camilla sat down for a light-hearted interview with her son, food writer Tom Parker Bowles, and casually listed the ingredients she refuses to eat: chili, garlic, and peppers. Simple enough, but those happen to be the exact ingredients Princess Catherine openly loves. Princess Catherine has spoken publicly and warmly about her love of Indian food, spicy curries, and cooking heat-filled meals at home for her family. Therefore, What looked like a casual conversation about dinner preferences quietly became a headline, and palace insiders didn't let it slide. As OK Magazine, Reality T, and Inquisitor all reported, sources say the two women reportedly clash over banquet menus and state occasion ingredients regularly, with insiders calling it a full food war. One palace insider was direct, saying it is not really about chili or garlic, it is about control, influence, and who gets to shape what the monarchy looks like next. In my opinion, when two women are fighting over a menu, they are never really fighting about the menu. The kitchen is just where the power struggle found its latest address. And that power struggle isn't just playing out over tiaras and dinner menus, because underneath all of it, the curtsy, the guest list, the food war, there is one thing that I believe is driving every single one of Queen Camilla's moves right now, and when you see it clearly, the whole picture snaps into focus. Queen Camilla is reportedly scared. Think about what her future actually looks like. The moment King Charles III is no longer on the throne, Prince William becomes king, and when that happens, Princess Catherine becomes queen. But that means Queen Camilla, the woman who fought for decades to wear that crown, will reportedly find herself depending on Princess Catherine's goodwill for her palace privileges, her influence, and her standing inside the royal family she worked so hard to shape. Therefore, according to Reality T's article, Kate Middleton's smacked down Queen Camilla, senior royals allegedly had to step in and remind Queen Camilla of that reality directly. A royal source said plainly that Queen Camilla has chosen to be extremely petty and territorial instead of falling in line. Another source added that she will effectively be at Kate's mercy inside the firm. In my opinion, petty behavior from a powerful position is almost always a sign of one thing: a person who knows deep down that the power is already leaving their hands, and no amount of territorial behavior can stop what is already coming. And the reason Queen Camilla is panicked becomes crystal clear when you look at one simple number. Because you can control a guest list, you can fight over a menu, you can call a tiara unacceptable. But there is one thing inside that palace that no amount of power protocol or petty behavior can ever buy, and Queen Camilla knows it. The British public has already made up their mind. Recent YouGov polls reportedly ranked Princess Catherine as the most beloved member of the entire royal family, but Queen Camilla allegedly didn't even crack the top 5. She reportedly fell behind royals far less prominent than herself, including the Dukes of Edinburgh. For a woman who now holds the title of Queen, that is a staggering number. Therefore, as Pakistan Today reported in their article, Queen Camilla's growing contempt for Princess Kate Middleton exposed, King Charles III has reportedly made active efforts to boost Queen Camilla's public image, trying to align her with Princess Catherine's popularity. But those efforts have reportedly been largely unsuccessful. Sources close to the palace claim Queen Camilla simply can't stand Kate's popularity. In my opinion, that frustration is completely understandable and completely pointless. You cannot manufacture the kind of love Princess Catherine has built. You cannot pull your way into people's hearts. That connection is either real or it isn't. And the British public, they always know the difference. And yet, with everything I've just told you, the full picture isn't quite that simple. Because after the guest lists and the tiaras and the food wars and the polls, I want to show you something that stopped me completely. One small moment that, in my opinion, contains more truth about this relationship than every tabloid headline combined. Here is what I need you to understand. Two women who are reportedly at war don't have to perform kindness for each other. They don't have to share anything. But on Remembrance Day in November 2024, standing together on the balcony of the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office overlooking the Cenotaph in London, something unexpected happened. Princess Catherine leaned toward Queen Camilla and whispered 4 quiet words. Did you see it? Therefore, as the Mirror reported in their article, Kate Middleton's 4-word question to Camilla, lip-reader Jeremy Freeman revealed to Reach plc that Queen Camilla responded with a knowing smile, before quickly hiding her expression behind her order of service program, 2 women, trying not to laugh together in public. In my opinion, that moment doesn't erase everything that has reportedly happened between them, but it does remind us of something important. Real relationships, even complicated, competitive, painful ones, are never just one thing, and the most honest stories are the ones that are brave enough to show you both sides. And that moment of shared laughter on that balcony, as human and unexpected as it was, makes what I am about to tell you even more complicated, because while Princess Catherine and Queen Camilla were quietly trying not to laugh together in public, something was reportedly building behind closed doors that involves the entire royal family, not just these two women, not just a tiara or a menu or a curtsy. This goes all the way to King Charles III himself. Because according to reports, King Charles has reportedly stepped in and ordered Princess Catherine directly to end the feud with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle once and for all. And in my opinion, what happens next could reshape every relationship inside that palace, including the one between Princess Catherine and Queen Camilla, in ways nobody is prepared for. This is the story that connects every single thread we talked about today. If you want to know what King Charles reportedly said, why he said it now, and what it means for Princess Catherine's future inside the royal family, click on the video right there. King Charles orders Kate, end Harry and Meghan feud now. It is all connected. And trust me, you are going to want to see this one.